Hi, I'm Claire from english-at-home.com. The number one thing that people ask me for is help with speaking. How can you improve your speaking so that you feel more confident when you're with other people, when you go traveling, when you're on holiday? So here are my 8 tips to improve your English speaking so you feel more confident. Number 1, practice. The more chances you have to speak English, the more confident you will feel. You don't always need to find a native speaker to practice your English with. Think about, can you speak English at work? Can you set up an English speaking hour with your colleagues? Can you set up an English film club with your friends? Or if you're still studying, can you do your English homework with friends? If you don't find anyone to practice speaking with, speak to yourself. Speak to yourself in English in the car or in front of the mirror. Really, the more chances you have to practice English, the more confident you will feel. Tip number 2, overcome your fear. So when you have a chance to practice speaking English, don't let fear get in the way. Now, I understand you might be worried that you make a mistake, that you might use the wrong grammar or you might use the wrong vocabulary, but don't be worried. Remember, if people correct a mistake, it's more likely they correct a mistake with vocabulary, not with grammar. So don't be embarrassed that maybe your English isn't 100% accurate or that you make pronunciation mistakes. Find the courage and speak English. If you're really worried that you might say something stupid, there are 2 things that you can do. The first thing, keep it simple. So use simple grammar and use simple vocabulary. The second thing you can do is to practice and prepare before you need to speak. So for example, if you know that you have to make a phone call, think about the phrases you can use before you actually make the phone call. So for example, phrases like, "Oh, good morning, this is speaking. Can I speak to, please?" Or, "Good morning, can you put me through to, please?" And these phrases, when you know them, will help you feel more confident. Tip number 3, experiment. When you speak English, really try to push yourself to use new grammar and new vocabulary. You will make mistakes, but remember, mistakes are a really important part of learning a new language because they show that you're going up a level with your English. You try a new word, you make a mistake, someone will correct you and tell you the right word. This means that you're making progress. The next time, you will find the right word. So remember, experimenting will help you to make more progress and so that you feel more confident. Tip number 4, trust your instincts. A lot of the time, you don't even need language to understand a situation. So look at how people are acting around you. Look at their body language. And then reply in a way that's natural. So, for example, if you think someone looks angry, maybe you've done something like take their place in a queue, which in England is a real no-no. So say something like, "Oh, sorry," or "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were in the queue." And the person will probably say, "Oh, that's all right." And that gives you confidence because you can react to the situation. So trust what you're seeing. Trust your instincts. Tip number 5, don't translate. Try not to translate. Translating between English and your first language really slows down the conversation. Instead, try to remember the fixed phrases that we use in different situations rather than trying to translate each separate word. For example, in a simple conversation, "Hi Claire, how are you?" The fixed phrase, "I'm fine, thanks, and you?" Okay, these aren't the most exciting phrases that you can use, but they will give you confidence because when you know a set of fixed phrases that you can use in different situations, you don't need to translate. Tip number 6, avoid silence. So what do you do when you forget a word? Fill the silence with a little filler word like or So for example, can you pass me the newspaper? Native speakers do this all the time when they forget a word. Or you could use another filler word like you know. So for example, he's an engineer. Or we also use thingamy. So for example, have you got a thingamy for the washing machine? Tip number 7, slow down. When people are nervous, they often speak too fast. And the problem with this is that it becomes difficult to understand. For example, can I have a return ticket to London, please? A what? Can I have a return ticket to London, please? Remember, slow down and your pronunciation will be better. Remember to stress the information words, the nouns, the adjectives, the verbs, for example. And the final tip, relax. If you're too nervous when you speak English, you won't be able to breathe properly. You're all like, So take a deep breath, relax, smile, and talk to the other person. Assume that what the other person wants to do is to really communicate with you. They're going to be listening to you. They want to reply to you. They really want to understand you. So don't worry about your grammar. Don't worry about your vocabulary. Don't worry about your pronunciation. Focus on the other person. Remember that most of the time we don't even hear mistakes. When you relax, things become much, much easier. Okay, so now I want you to get talking. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, click subscribe for more English lessons. Bye.